Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Ellen. I am the music therapist for Transitions Hospice. I'm so glad to be with all of you. And it's February. Exciting, right? What do you mean, no? Yes, it is. February is a time for love. It's a time for Valentine's Day. And you might be thinking to yourself, I'm kind of over all of that stuff now. But you know, love is forever. Love is all around us, and there's love for you too. I thought it would be fun if we could take a look at how customs have changed. Dating has definitely changed over the years. How you meet somebody, where you meet them, where you go on a date, even weddings have changed. So we'll take a look starting with the 30s, we'll go through the 40s and the 50s, and then talk a little bit about love songs that are classics. They're going to last forever, and they just didn't fit into one of these little boxes, but I didn't want to leave them out. And then finally, we'll take a little bit of time and just look at how wedding music has changed, because it really has. However, one constant that we have is that love songs are everywhere. So, with no further ado, let's get in the Wayback Machine and let's take a look at what love would have been like in the 1930s. Some of you will have experienced that directly. Some of you will have heard about it from your parents and so forth. But even if you're not from Chicago, and I realize that many of you are not, you've no doubt heard of the major ballrooms, the Aragon, the Trianon, what was called O. Henry and later on became the Willowbrook Ballroom. Every town had one. And even out in McHenry County, which is where I live, we had a number of them. People didn't want to go schlepping into the city. And one of them, I'll just single out, was called the Crystal Ballroom, otherwise known as the Hog Wrestle. At the Hog Wrestle, girls would show up on Friday night. They would go stag. They'd be looking for a date for Saturday night. But the place had a reputation of being kind of rowdy. And I actually met a lady who said, my mother said that she didn't like the kind of people that went there and she wouldn't let me go. Some of you are from farm areas, and if so, barn dances were a big deal. Those who might recall WLS, the WLS barn dance was broadcast live every week, and if you were picked to be a location, that was a big deal. So you'll see a picture of an advertisement for WLS barn dance that was held in Fox River Grove. When the railroads expanded, it was a lot easier for dance halls to attract top talent. And some of these dance halls, of course, ended up being other things later on. There's one here that's pictured called the Fox Pavilion, which became the Just for Fun roller rink. Alas, it has been a casualty of the pandemic. Nobody had any money during the Depression, so going to some of these dances was pretty cheap. They weren't always at dance halls. You could go to the roller rink. They had them there. Churches had dances. And again, if anybody is from Chicago, particularly from the South Side, St. Sabina, which was my uncle and my mom's parish, was known for their dances. Kids would show up, 25 cents. They might take the streetcar to get there, and they got really good bands that would show up to these dances. Here's what you and your date might have danced to back in the day. Certainly, Hoagie Carmichael's Stardust. It's got words to it, but I don't really like the words, so just enjoy the instrumental. often say to people that if a song is really good, it'll come around again and somebody else will record it. And an example of that is When My Dreamboat Comes Home. You see the cover of that pictured in the slide. I have a very large sheet music collection, and I love being able to kind of pick up history by just pulling some of these up. So When My Dreamboat Comes Home was originally recorded by Guy Lombardo, and later on, much later on in the 50s, by Fats Domino. So if you know it, and some of these, I'm not going to be doing the entire song just in the interest of time, but I'll do a little bit. When my dreamboat comes home, and my dream no more will roam, I will meet you and greet you. When my dreamboat comes home, moonlit waters will sing, 'cause that tender love will bring, will be sweethearts, yes, forever. When my dreamboat comes home. You know, one thing that's changed is pet names for people. It used to be, obviously, that people, if you thought a guy was really good looking, he'd be a dreamboat. There's other names. Some, you'll recall songs where "You will be my Tootsie Wootsie." So think about those. I'm sure that you may have had a pet name for the person in your life, vice versa. I want to mention one other song. You'll see the sheet music cover for "Goodnight Sweetheart." And this very well would have perhaps ended your evening at the ballroom. You'll notice from the sheet music cover that it was recorded by Rudy Vallee, who was a very big star at the time. And it also notes here that he was a favorite of the King and Queen of England. Good night, sweetheart, till we meet tomorrow. Good night, sweetheart, sleep will banish sorrow. Tears and parting may make us forlorn, but with the dawn a new day is born. So I'll say good night, sweetheart, though I'm not beside you. Good night, sweetheart, still my love will guide you. Dreams enfold you, in each one I'll hold you. Good night, sweetheart, good night. Hello again, everyone. I'm Mary Ellen. I'm the music therapist for Transitions Hospice, and we're taking a look at love throughout the years. Let's look at the 40s and think about what that must have been like. I know some of you experienced it firsthand. Others of you heard about it through your parents, and it's certainly a fact that there were many romances that were put on hold. There were romances that blossomed during that time, and there were certainly lots of great love songs. So let's share a few of those now. If you know this song and know any of the songs, please sing along. Otherwise, hum if you'd like to. And I always encourage people, whenever you can move, as long as it doesn't hurt, the staff didn't tell you not to do it, it's a good thing. So this next one will be easy enough to follow the beat. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't go another song that was a huge hit during World War II was I'll Be Seeing You. And I think that many of us would agree with the sentiments of that song. When you lose somebody, all of a sudden, out of the blue, you will see something that reminds you of them, or you'll be somewhere that reminds you of them. And it's a bittersweet experience, isn't it? Because on the one hand, you're really glad that you remember the time that you spent with them. But on the other hand, of course, you realize that they're not there. So that's the sentiment behind this song. But it's a beautiful song. If you know it, please sing along. I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Even though it was wartime, the big bands certainly kept on playing, and there were productions for our soldiers that were in the European and the Pacific theaters. And here are just a few of the many, many hits. And again, I've taken them from my sheet music collection. I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. And the copy that I have is by one of the big bands, but if those of you who are familiar with this song, you might recall that the Ink Spots made a hit of it. So I'll just play a little bit of it. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you, no other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim, just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I've reached the goal that I've been dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. And another one in the category of if it's really good, it'll come around again, is I Love You for Sentimental Reasons, which was made popular by Nat King Cole and many others. I love you for sentimental reasons. I hope you do believe me. I'll give you my heart. I love you, and you alone were meant for me. Please give your loving heart to me, and say we'll never part. So that's just a little bit of that one. And I would imagine that most of you know Sentimental Journey. Again, a number that's been done by many people and was actually popularized too by Doris Day early on in her career. We came to know her for movies and lots of other songs later, but this is one. Gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna set my mind at ease, gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bags, I got my reservations, spent each dime I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. I especially like that one because I hope this is a sentimental journey. Another one that I like to include is this hit by the Mills Brothers, Till Then. I often tell people that I know them by their songs, and a lady once told me that this was very special to her and her husband. And it's certainly true that during the war, many soldiers had to say goodbye to their girlfriends, their fiancés, and say, "Till then, please wait for me." Till then, my darling, please wait for me. Till then, no matter when it will be someday, I know I'll be back again. Please wait. Till then, our dreams will live although we're apart. Our love, I know we'll keep in our hearts. Till then, when all the world will be free, please wait for me. Although there are oceans we must cross, mountains that we must climb, I know every gain must have a loss, so pray that our loss is nothing but time. Let's dream of what there will be. Till then, we'll call on each memory. Till then, until I hold you again, please wait. Till then. With so many away at war, how did girls and guys meet people? And where did they meet them? Well, one of the places that they met was at the USO. Girls would go down, and the odds were certainly in their favor. They would dance at the USO. I'd like to share a story with you of another way that people could meet during World War II. If you look at this picture, this young woman joined the WACs. She eventually became company commander, and that young lady was my mom. She met the man of her dreams. She met my dad. They were both stationed at Fort Sheridan. She was, as I mentioned, the company commander, and my dad was in the Corps of Engineers, and they met at an officers club New Year's Eve party. And here you see their wedding picture. And for those of you who are from Chicago, you might possibly recall the Edgewater Beach Hotel, which is long gone now, but it had a boardwalk that was really famous and celebrities stayed there. And so that was where they had their very short honeymoon. I like to think that maybe when they were out on the boardwalk and they were dancing, I hope that the band played their favorite song, which was "People Will Say That We're in Love" from Oklahoma. And if somebody was walking along the beach, my fantasy is that maybe if they were listening, they might have heard some of these strains from that song. And again, I won't play the whole thing, but don't throw bouquets at me. Don't please my folks too much. Don't laugh at my jokes too much. Don't sigh and gaze at me. Your sighs are so like mine. Your eyes mustn't glow like mine. People will say we're in love. Don't start collecting things. Give me my rose and my glove. Sweetheart, they're suspecting things. People will say we're in love. I would like to say to you that if you haven't shared your own personal love story with your family, do. And if you don't think anybody's going to listen to you, write it down. If your fingers don't want to cooperate, see if you can get somebody to record it for you or to write it down. This is a part of your history. And I know for me, I find it completely charming Plus, if it hadn't happened, where would I be? So I encourage all of you to do the same.